Y'all, Diddy is trying to erase Kim Porter's memory from the internet. I repeat, Diddy is trying to erase Kim Porter's memory from the internet. On top of that, there is now somebody reporting, and this girl is going on the record, the levels of Diddy's sadisticness. Do you know that he had Cassie get breast augmentation and demanded the very next day after she had the surgery for her to take them out because they were too big? He treated her like a toy. But forget all that. We'll talk about that later. Let's talk about the Kim Porter stuff. Because you guys, this is serious. This is serious. Okay, so what do we know? The day of the settlement, the internet sleuths are saying that the day that he settled with Cassie, Kim Porter's WikiPage was wiped off the internet. Now, why is that happening? Because you guys, remember when we did that live and we were talking about why would Diddy settle so quickly? Why would he just let that go? Because if you guys don't know, at least if you're not American, right? In America, when it comes to SA or grape, especially in a committed relationship where the person keeps returning, it is super, super hard to prove. Do you not look at jurisprudence? Do you know how hard it is to prove that your husband raped you, that your boyfriend raped you, that there was some type of SA? And if you kept returning, oh my God, you can just forget it, right? On top of that, justice goes to who usually has the most money and who can exhaust efforts, okay? Who can exhaust efforts? What does that mean? It means Cassie has a limited amount of money. Diddy is a billionaire. He can bury her in legal until it doesn't make any sense. On top of that, when you settle with people, a lot of big companies and rich people will fight you to the tooth and nail, a la the Kardashians, because they don't want people thinking that it's just sweet. They don't want people thinking that they can just come sue them and they'll just roll over and pay. So you fight lawsuits just to scare everybody else off. Even if he was going to settle with her, he could have drawn it out. He could have launched a PR campaign, a troll campaign. We saw what happened between Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion. You could have did private investigators, brought up every high school boyfriend Cassie had. Oh my God, she likes it. Diddy, like I said, could have sat there on that stand and been like, no, I'm the victim. She wanted me to wear white nail polish. That was her thing. He could have did all that, but he didn't. He was prepared to go to the mat. But in less than 24 hours, Cassie let him know something that she knew, that she did not put in the complaint, that was so shocking and so crazy, and something that promised criminal liability. Criminal. You can't settle with the state. You can't buy your way out of that, but you can buy your way out of civil. Something that promised criminal liability. And I thought that's what it was. What did she have over your head? Puffy allegedly has a long history of violence, guns, Biggie, Tupac. Listen, Puff got a dark cloud around him. I'm beginning to think he is the dark cloud. But I was like, it had to be something criminal and it had to be something big. Go watch my old lives. A lot of lawyers agreed. Now, let's put that together with the fact that the day Diddy settled with Cassie, Kim Porter's Instagram was wiped. Her WikiPage was wiped clean. Why is that? Literally, I Googled. Here's a screenshot. Here's videos. You go. Her WikiPage, and she had a WikiPage, does not exist. Even when you put in Kim Porter Wikipedia, Sean Diddy's Wikipedia page comes up. And then there's this little bootleg wiki page also, but all pertinent information has been wiped away. Why is that? The day that he settled with Cassie, does that make sense? The day he settled with Cassie, it gets wiped? Y'all, listen, I don't know what's going on, but I know something's going on. And I know that everything keeps pointing more and more and more to a Kim Porter connection. Again, this is speculation on my part, but what do you think? That wiki page going down, that's something. That is something that cannot be denied. Speaking of which also can't be denied, y'all, more information is coming back on the way Puffy is sadist. There's something wrong with that man. And the way he treated Cassie, more information is actually coming up. Do you know that Cassie's not even filming out? And that's the thing with Diddy. When y'all like, oh, he settled this and that. Cassie, he had the upper hand as far as money. The fact that this is going on, but people are coming out of the blue, right? Coming out of the blue. And now they're speaking up. They're speaking up. Listen to this, right? This is directly from the source of the person that worked in the office and said, yeah. She said, Sean Diddy Combs pressured Cassie to get breast augmentation only to demand she reverse the surgery the next day, despite the health risks because they were too big. This is a former friend. Y'all, this is crazy. So anyway, the former friend recalls witnessing the moment Diddy ordered Cassie to reverse her 2009 breast surgery. According to The Insider, the music mogul was behind the idea and did most of the talking during a consultation to Dr. Frank Ryan's office in Beverly Hills. But Diddy would later become furious with the results and demanded he met with the surgeon to have the implants reduced the very next day. He made her go back in the very next day? Y'all, let's get into this. So they said years before being accused of raping ex-girlfriend Cassie and forcing her to have blank with male blank workers, Puffy's whole life is nothing but beep, 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 beep. We're not even going to be able to talk about him pretty soon, right? He pressured Cassie to get breast implants only to order her to have them removed the following day despite the plastic surgeon's warnings it could harm her. A source close to the former couple recalled her horror witnessing the exchange, which saw Cassie, fresh from surgery, crying but silent as the Bad Boy founder demanded celebrity surgeon Dr. Frank Ryan immediately remove the implants despite the serious health risks. Speaking exclusively to the Daily Mail, Diddy thought they could go right back into surgery like now and take them out. And Dr. Ryan, because he's like, you're not getting me disbarred. He was like, no way. Trying to explain to him that we should wait at least 6 months to see how it heals because she was just opened up. Diddy was like, no, they got to come out. Call who you need to call. They got to come out. The witness who spoke on the condition of remaining anonymous said the discussion took place shortly after Thanksgiving in 2009 at the office of Dr. Ryan, who died. Oh my God. Who died the following year in August 2010 when he accidentally drove off a cliff in Malibu while sending a text message? You guys. An inside source said she did not speak out at the time to avoid causing more problems for the couple. But the calculus changed last Thursday when Cassie, whose full name is Cassandra Vittora, filed the bombshell lawsuit accusing the hip-hop mogul of controlling and abusing her for over a decade. You guys, this is crazy. The source said, I never thought Cassie would ever come forward to talk about all this. When she finally did yesterday, I was like, thank God. I'm so happy she has the courage to do what she's doing. And I was more than happy to come forward myself to describe the level of abuse that I saw that she was enduring. But just a day after the lawsuit became public, the insider spoke to the Daily Mail. Diddy announced that the two had settled. No specific details were, of course, revealed. But the witness to the 2009 episode in the plastic surgeon's office, meanwhile, she shared her account to help corroborate one core contention of Cassie's lawsuit, that Diddy was deeply concerning. So Cassie had secret witnesses also ready to come out, but they're not secret because I'm sure Diddy and Cassie know who's talking right now. And I'm guessing it's some sort of personal assistant because who else could be in the doctor's office? Anyway, the source said, I've always been traumatized myself about what I saw. To me, watching this, it was just cruel. It was so horrible. She was treated like a rat. It was literally like her voice was snatched and there was nothing she could do. That if she started standing up for herself, she'd be in trouble. She knew to keep quiet and go along with whatever he was saying. You guys, this latest allegation, it's kind of like lining up with what everybody said. But why is the angel of death? So this surgeon that told you no with Cassie, and Diddy apparently threw a fit because he was like, yo, make it happen, make it happen. And the surgeon was like, no way. He died a year later, driving off a cliff in Malibu. You guys, this is crazy. Cassie really was a blank slave. She was at his control. Listen, here's the thing. Speaking of Diddy interfering with Cassie's breast implants. That same year, the witness said she first became concerned during an initial consultation when he went with her to the appointment. Remember, Cassie said he was all up in her business and she couldn't go anywhere, this and that. The doctor had treated a host of stars, including Heidi Montag. Oh, why'd you go to Heidi's thing? Gene Simmons, Shauna Sand, and Vince Neil. That should have been the first clue. Describing the office visit in 2009, the source said Diddy had done nearly all the talking during the consultation. He presented his vision for Cassie's breast as she stood topless before them and had photos taken of her body. It was him talking about what he wanted. She was like his doll, like a dress-up doll. She had a flat chest. He said he wanted a full shape, sexy but not too big. Sounds like he was trying to turn her into J-Lo's test. They said typically the patients speak for themselves. Okay, so this is somebody who works for the doctor. She said usually men act like, I just want her to be happy, even though they know it's for them. However, men are usually kind of quiet in these consultations. It was out of the ordinary that he was doing all the talking and she wasn't saying anything. She appeared meek. She was more like a Stepford wife, agreeable, amiable, but quiet. Dr. Ryan was super excited to have the famous rapper in his luxurious cosmetic office, right? And he was proudly and confidently agreeing with everything Diddy said. They're saying that the doctor just got into his artsy mode, recalled, and he charged about $16,000 for the procedure. He was describing how great the outcome was going to be, how confident he was about achieving the desired results. The surgery took place just weeks later in another location, and Cassie was let go in the evening from the hospital, but Diddy was furious with the results. The next day, he wanted to meet Dr. Ryan and discuss having the breasts removed for a smaller size. He said they were too big. Dr. Ryan called the witness, expressing alarm and wanting her to be present for the meeting. He wanted me there. He needed some support. He thought there would be a strength in numbers in helping me navigate this through them. Cassie sat there crying while Diddy was belligerent and demanded the surgeon. It was the day after surgery. She looked like she was in pain. The plastic surgeon tried to talk sense into Diddy. The doctor was shocked and seemed like he was going to pee his pants. Like, what am I going to do with this? He was trying to hold his ground that this was never going to happen, assuring him that we can get to that desired result, but we need time for healing. He was saying there's a lot of swelling now. You don't understand, but it's going to go down. The plastic surgeon kept saying, you're seeing a lot of swelling, a lot of fluid, but it's going to go down. But Diddy didn't want to hear it. He was like, no, they got to come out now. Get this. The doctor succumbed to the pressure. He was like, okay, I'll get my team together and we'll take them out. Do a smaller size. He felt bad for Cassie and it was sad. It was just so sad. And while this was all going on, Cassie was not talking at all. She was crying, visibly traumatized, but she wasn't saying anything at all. She was just going along with whatever he said. She wasn't advocating for herself, for her implants, nothing. Diddy was not comforting her at all. Privately, Dr. Ryan told me this was a mutilation, that I can't even believe this. He was saying, poor Cassie, this is awful. The source said the doctor rushed to get the supplies and the team together and performed the follow-up surgery within a week. She never saw Diddy or Cassie again. She kept silent until now. She said she was proud of Cassie for going public. I'm not surprised her body was not her own at all, because in that moment, she said, in that moment I witnessed it was not her body. It was his body to be dressed up and enhanced the way he wanted. If somebody doesn't respect somebody's body being cut up, I can't imagine he cared much about her or her body in any other area in life. She deserves to have agency over her body and to reclaim any dignity that was a lot in the relationship for whatever she endured. Before the settlement was reached, Diddy's lawyer, Ben Brofman, said Cassie demanded $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book. Cassie's attorney, meanwhile, said Diddy offered her 8 figures to silence her and to prevent the filing of the lawsuit. She rejected his efforts so she could give a voice to all women who suffer in silence. However, in 24 hours, that tone changed. She said, I decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control, as you know, Cassie said. Y'all, this is crazy. This is sick. Diddy needs to be, the authorities need to get involved. And they also need to investigate that surgeon. But do you see my whole point about everybody's like, oh, why Cassie stay? Why Cassie stay? When the surgeon literally did this mess, he had doctors, surgeons, everybody on his payroll. Everybody was afraid of her. And you're wondering why Cassie was scared? Y'all, listen. This is so sad. I'm going to go live later on today and talk about this because, yeah, we got to talk. We got to talk. Let me know what you think in the comments. Bye.